Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel. Cayman's bigger, better network. And March for Jesus. 18th of May. Visit christian.ky for more information. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today's Monday, the 13th day of May 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. All of you mothers out there, we hope that you had a memorable Mother's Day as well, and that you were treated like royalty by your family members as well. So we trust that everything went well with all of those mothers, and a belated Happy Mother's Day to all of you out there as well. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. For those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. This morning, we want to extend, in particular, condolences to Mr. Graham Rankin, Lord Graham, known as Lord Graham, and his entire family on the passing of their mother and relative, Miss Melrose Francine Rankin, who was born in 1940 and leaves behind 9 children. So we want to extend our sincere condolences to Lord Graham and his family, and those of you who are friends and who are just hearing about this, we encourage you to reach out to Lord Graham and his family as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I'm going to dispense with my opening comments this morning, just to remind you that our phone lines are open. We have no guests in the studio. Our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number, 925-3261. If you call on that WhatsApp number, I will say we're now going to take our caller from our WhatsApp number. That will be your cue to know that it is your time to talk, because the WhatsApp number doesn't work like our other regular numbers, as well. So just to remind you of that. Before we look at the birthday shout-outs, at 3:10 this morning, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service sent out a news bulletin headed "Serious Collision on Shamrock Road, 13th of May." And it says, police are currently on the scene of a serious collision on Shamrock Road in the vicinity of Coral Bay Village. The roadway in the area is currently closed. Eastbound traffic is being diverted onto the east-west arterial at the Tomlinson roundabout, and westbound traffic is being diverted onto Hearst Road at Countryside. Of course, news spreads fast, and sometimes it may be accurate and sometimes it may be incorrect. So right here on Radio Cayman, and certainly on For the Record, I will refrain from providing any information, about the number of vehicles, the number of fatalities, until that has been released by the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. I must say that they are out there in full force directing traffic. I would just have one comment if someone is listening from Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. Newlands, the junction of Rex Crichton Drive that ends at Hearst Road. We know that lots of traffic is coming out of Newlands itself from the north, but if traffic is being diverted onto Countryside Road from Shamrock Road, then the majority of traffic will be moving to the north to turn on Rex Crichton Boulevard. So you may want to let the flow of traffic coming from Countryside continue a little bit longer, because there is more traffic coming from that way as opposed to coming from the north on Newlands Road or Hearst Road, as well. I just noticed that this morning. We had a long line coming from Countryside, but it was extremely slow because most of the traffic was being allowed to come from the Newlands area. There's only a limited number of residents and drivers in Newlands, whereas coming from Countryside Road, you have everyone who's coming from the eastern districts in that area. So just a reminder of that. And we also want to say, those of you who are listening in on your radio this morning and you in your vehicles, please be patient. There is really nothing that you can do about traffic. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, they are out there. They are working feverishly to move traffic along as well, but you have to bear with them. I couldn't help also but think, here I am, other vehicles driving on Rex Crichton Boulevard, and you have drivers in and out of traffic again. It reminds me of that story that is told in England when they were hanging pickpockets. There were public executions, public hangings for pickpockets. And while those persons were watching the public executions, there were pickpockets out there working. So, no deterrent whatsoever. So those drivers reminded me, here we are, backed up in traffic because of possible road fatalities, and they're out there exposing themselves and exposing other drivers to the same situation that has just occurred. Just my thoughts on that. Folks, when we return, we will give you all of the birthday greetings that are out there. We have some belated ones, some upcoming ones as well, but we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Una Ideen Bush, Certificate of Honor, 1908-1995. Miss Una devoted a lifetime of service to her country and community. She began her career as a school teacher and rose to head the Government Savings Bank, which she developed as the first banking institution in the Cayman Islands. She served her church and community in many other ways, including as a Sunday school teacher, organist, Girls Brigade leader, founding member of the Business and Professional Women's Club, and member of the Garden Club.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
The Rotary Cayman Islands Sunset $10,000 raffle happening Saturday, May 25th. Tickets only $10, 3 tickets only $25, 5 tickets for $40 from any Rotary Sunset member. All proceeds will support Rotary Sunset community projects including Feed Our Future, the Sunrise Adult Training Center, Adopt a School Program, the Marie Martin Georgetown Primary School, the Crisis Center, and many more. The new Rotary Sunset Club. NPO number 656. Get your ticket, get your chance. Rotary Sunset, creating hope in the world.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. And I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. We're going to share with you our birthday shout-outs and to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. So let's look at the birthday shout-outs. We're going to look at yesterday. Patrick Gale celebrated a birthday yesterday. Today we have Linda Young, Billy Samamba, Mr. Billy Samamba celebrating his birthday today. Also yesterday, Jennifer Ebanks celebrated a birthday, and today Kimberly Walton is celebrating a birthday today as well. Tomorrow, Twyla Escalante will be celebrating a birthday, as well as Martinez Frederick and Jeremiah Ransom. I think I got all of those correct. And then we have here, this person says happy birthday to our brother Robert, Uncle George, on his 64th birthday. That was on Saturday. God bless and keep you and make his face shine upon you as well. And it seems as if, Gabriella Pearson also celebrating a birthday. And the birthday greetings to Georgie Banks coming from brother and niece, as well. I think I got that correct. Folks, when you write those things, I understand that it's being written under pressure sometimes, so we can understand that. Okay, just searching for some more here. Bear with me. Marilyn Ebanks celebrating a birthday today as well. And there was one that I saw earlier coming from, wanted us to give a shout out to Lady a Colonel who was 90 years of age. I'm trying to find that one, Miss Susan. Meanwhile, let's see. And somebody was sending a Happy Mother's Day out there to everyone. Okay, here we go. So this was on Wednesday. I missed this for some reason, but they wanted to send out belated birthday greetings to Mrs. Pat Colonel, who was 90 years young, and the greetings were coming from her kind, caring helpers as well. So belated happy birthday greetings going out to Miss Pat Colonel, 90 years young, coming from your helpers as well. I think I have covered all of them. And again, one more time, because we have to recognize our sponsors, that all of those birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And also by Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Folks, as you know, the bulk waste collection has started. It started on the 6th of May, a week ago, in West Bay and ended on the 11th. Today, the 13th of May, it commences in Georgetown, and that will run from May 13th to May 18th. Then Bordentown, May 20th to May 25th, and we will remind you as those dates get closer. Also, North Side and East End, May 27th to June 1st. Then we have Cayman Brac, the East Side and the Bluff, May 27th to 28th. South Side, May 31st. West Side and the Bluff and West Bluff, May 29th to 30th. Little Cayman, May 29th. You are also reminded of the steps that you can take to get your bulk waste ready. Number 1, check your collection date. Number 2, separate metals and vegetative waste. Step 3, place waste on the curbside. And then we will remind you of the items that are accepted: appliances, mattresses, vegetative waste, furniture, bicycles, and scrap metals. I would just say, as a bike lover, if you have a bicycle and if it's in any good shape, don't put it out there for it to go to the landfill. Give it to someone. Give it to someone. We know that everyone is now attracted towards the motor vehicles, or you may want to take it to a bike store and have it repaired and give it to a youngster for the summer. But if it is in working condition, don't put it out there. The items that are not accepted are electronics, tires, hazardous materials, construction, and demolition waste. That means, folks, all of you contractors out there, small or large, and we know that the larger ones are probably the more responsible ones, not to say that we don't have small contractors that are responsible as well, but we know some of you will try to put it out there so that the government can pick it up for you, while at the same time you being paid for that in the contract that you have entered into with whomever. So you want to do that yourself as well. Have a quick one for you as well. Someone mentioned to me yesterday, and I found this very interesting. They spoke about the language test that is required for persons who are coming from non-English speaking countries to work in the Cayman Islands, and they have to take this. It's called a TOEIC. Those are the acronyms, TOEIC test. But they said, what about people who come from English speaking countries but not able to comprehend? And they used an example. We told this person to assemble this particular item. It was in a box. Assemble it. A few hours later, when they returned, box is still there, nothing assembled. When they asked the worker, why didn't you assemble it? They said, boss, you used the word assemble, but I don't know what assemble means. So again, it goes to show you that maybe we need not just an English language test, but we need some sort of a competency test. Otherwise, and it shouldn't be the government doing that. You as an employer should be the one who's ensuring that that person is capable of comprehension before you apply for a work permit. But that was an interesting, take on the language thing as well. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, the phone lines will remain open. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
The experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Fiery blaze after a multiple car smash-up leads to several injuries and at least one death, along with a traffic jam into and out of the eastern districts this morning. Police are on the scene of a, quote, serious collision on Shamrock Road near Coral Bay Village. The roadway in the area is currently closed. Eastbound traffic is being diverted onto the east-west arterial at the Tomlinson roundabout, while the westbound traffic is being diverted onto Hurst Road at Countryside. Drivers currently on the road from the eastern districts tell Radio Cayman that the traffic is slowed, but it is moving consistently. 911 tells Radio Cayman the smash took place shortly before 12:20 this morning, and the call reported at least 5 vehicles involved in the crash. All emergency services were sent to the scene and multiple injuries were reported. Shortly after 7 a.m., police confirmed the crash was a fatal accident, but have not released further details as of news time. Make sure to stay with Radio Cayman as we follow this developing story. Government publishes unaudited first quarter financial reports. The results of core government for the January to March period show a $250 million surplus, $260 for the entire public sector. Net assets of government were $2.4 billion, with overall bank account balances of $702 million in cash and deposits. When combined with the performance of SAGCs, that is, government companies and statutory authorities, the overall surplus of $240 million was $46 million, quote, higher than expected in the 2024 budget. This was primarily due to, quote, higher coercive revenues complemented by lower levels of expenditure in personnel costs and supplies and consumables. This was, however, offset by higher than budgeted levels of expenditure and outputs of SAGCs, outputs from non-government suppliers, and transfer payments. The report says compared to the same period in 2023, core revenue of total government had increased by $39 million. Additionally, core expenses rose by $22 million. SAGC results through the first quarter were a, quote, positive variance of $11 million when compared to the same period in 2023. Overall net surplus for the EPS increased by $28 million when compared to the results of the first quarter last year. The report says, quote, adherence to fiscal policy continues to yield significant overall cash and deposit balances held by core government. The report goes on to say it should be noted that, quote, year-to-date savings and expenses such as personnel costs and supplies and consumables may not translate into full-year savings and may be due to timing differences. Vacant posts and delayed projects will impact, quote, current costs reflected in personnel costs and consumables and supplies, respectively. You can find the full report online at gov.ky. And in other news, Cayman residents are treated to a rare celestial event this past weekend.
Amazing images of Aurora Borealis from around the world are coming in the last few days, including some from the Cayman Islands.
Cayman Islands Astronomical Society President Tyan Miller tells Radio Cayman several coronal mass ejection fronts brought views of the Aurora Borealis this far south.
The sun has a sunspot region 3664, which is currently producing X-class flares, which means these are eruptions which send material across the solar system and interfere with the Earth's magnetic field, causing these amazing events.
Mr. Miller says while it seems like the auroras are no longer extending south towards Cayman in the coming days, it was still, quote, awesome that so many people got to see what looked like wispy, shifting reddish haze in the distance. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Eileen McHugh. Russia says its forces have entered the northeastern Ukrainian border town of Vovchansk as it intensifies attacks on the region. Defending troops say heavy fighting is continuing. The Russian incursion has made Kharkiv city, Ukraine's second largest, more vulnerable. The European Commission has condemned what it called acts of intimidation, threats and physical assaults by Georgian authorities towards protesters. The demonstrators oppose a bill that puts political pressure on civil society groups that receive foreign funding. The German High Court has upheld a lower court ruling that the Alternative for Germany party was a suspected right-wing extremist organisation. The ruling allows German intelligence to continue subjecting the party to surveillance. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
CUC Advisory. Customers are advised of a scheduled outage on Thursday, May 16th between 10 a.m. and 12 noon for sections of Prospect Drive in Prospect and a number of side roads. For more information, please contact CUC's customer service team at 949-5200 or email service@cuc.ky or visit their website at www.cuc-cayman.com.
Teens and young people living in Cayman, it's time to use our voices. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is putting together a 10-year national health strategy, and we need to be a part of it. Do you feel heard by your doctor or healthcare provider? Are you included in making decisions about your health? Can you access the services you need easily? Tell us what you think. Email mohfeedback@gov.ky or log on to gov.ky/health-wellness and participate today.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. And I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 84 degrees. Relative humidity is 82%. The barometric pressure is 29.92 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 8 knots. Overnight low temperature was 81 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate southeasterly winds and seas expected across the Cayman area for the next few days in association with a high pressure system in the Atlantic Ocean. Satellite images show a few low-level clouds over the Cayman area. Now, the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today: calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise to the upper 80s today with a heat index near 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will fall to the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet for tonight as well. Low tide will be this morning at 9:38, high tide this afternoon at 2:39, and a low tide again tonight at 8:42. The sun will set this evening at 6:51 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:51. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Wednesday morning.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brit-K, where people come first.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look this time at traffic. Just to let you know, police are on the scene of a fatal collision on Shamrock Road near Coral Bay Village. The roadway in the area is currently closed. Eastbound traffic is being diverted onto East-West Arterial at the Tomlinson roundabout, and westbound traffic is being diverted onto Hurst Road at Countryside. 911 tells Radio Cayman the accident happened just after midnight last evening and involved multiple vehicles. Please drive with extra caution. As we look to Cool Road, slow-moving traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moderate. Then for Pearson Highway, traffic is steady, and steady traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, as well as off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. And as we look to Esterly Tibbetts Highway, steady traffic coming off of there and continuing on to Northtown Road, heading to the Industrial Park area, moderate flow of traffic. And there's steady traffic but flowing on the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz. And as we look to the West Bay four-way stop, traffic is moderate. If you see any other accidents, please let us know at Radio Cayman, and please drive with extra caution. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips for all occasions and celebrations. Let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its customers and the motoring public of wastewater infrastructure upgrade works along West Bay Road adjacent to Burger King and Kamana Way. Preliminary activities will take place on Tuesday, 7th May, with the main works beginning on Wednesday, 8th May. These works are anticipated to last for several weeks. During this time, access to the southbound lane along West Bay Road will be somewhat, but not entirely, restricted. Water Authority Cayman and its contractor will maintain two-way traffic throughout. Traffic signs will be in place in the general vicinity of the works. All motorists are asked to drive with caution to ensure their own safety as well as the safety of the Water Authority and its contractor's staff. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and the public as it upgrades its wastewater infrastructure and apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
The 23rd Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts, Tranquility, is here. Presented by the New Self-Help Foundation, Sunday, June 30th at the Hartwell Theater. Awesome performances by Rico Rolando.
Here we go again, there's something in this water.
Dream Chasers, Radiance Dance Studio, UCCI Dance Company, Centerpoint Dance Studio, Cayman National Dance Company, and more. Hosted by Anika Connolly and Lloyd Barker. Part of the proceeds from the Talent Exposition will go to support the training program of the arts. Tickets are available from the #1 shoe shop and Winner's Circle Sports. Prepaid tickets $15 or $20 at the gate. The 2024 Talent Exposition of the Arts, Tranquility, Sunday, 30th June at the Hartwell Theater. Gates open at 5. Show starts at 6. Get your tickets today.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets. Ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
Hey, join me, Sterling Dwayne Banks on Talk Today, Monday through Friday from 12:15 to 2:30 p.m. on Radio Cayman. Talk Today, the show where you can voice your views on the issues that matter most in the Cayman Islands. Call 949-8837, 949-6990, or WhatsApp 925-3261. Hey, you can even email asksterlingdwayne@gmail.com. We want to hear from you, so join us. Talk Today, weekdays from 12:15 to 2:30 p.m. The show that connects you with the people and the stories that matter.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning, and welcome back to For the Record. I told you that we didn't have any guests in the studio. That was earlier. We do have guests now. Later on, we will have an open line for you to call in after. Meanwhile, if you have a particular interest in the subject that we will be talking about, we certainly will welcome your contribution, to it as well. So it is Audit Awareness Month. The month of May is Audit Awareness Month, and it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me Mr. James Robinson, who is the president of the IIA chapter here in the Cayman Islands. Mr. Johnathan is
Johnathan Woods.
Mr. Johnathan Woods, who is with the Cayman Islands government. He's in the internal audit department. And we have Mr. Nathan Pagent, who is the president-elect of the IIA. And I must say that when I was cabinet secretary and basically chief officer, you always dreaded that internal, audit, and you always wanted to make sure that you stayed on the good side of the people at internal audit, as well. So, without any further ado, gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Good morning.
And we can go around the table and have you introduce yourselves. My introduction was a little bit jumbled, so we will give you an opportunity to clarify any mistakes that I may have made. Starting with you, Johnathan.
Hello, thanks again. So my name is Johnathan Woods, as you said, and I've been working with internal audit since July 2022. I started off as an intern in the portfolio of the civil service, which I then moved to be office manager inside of internal audit, and now I have transferred into the role of internal audit, which is internal auditor, which is basically the starting point for internal auditor. So I'm a trainee, so I work alongside the senior auditors and helping them in any way they like. And in that role, I'm able to learn and to give my inputs into how I think audit should be run, and also, like I said, learn from them as they're experienced, and that helps me to build my portfolio, and I see myself in the future as a senior auditor like them.
Excellent. Mr. Nathan?
That was great, Johnathan. My name's Nathan Pagent, and I've worked in internal audit for about 25 years. I worked in the UK within the central government of the UK for 35 years in total, but came across the Cayman in January 23, working with the team to try and build the skills in the internal audit team. So Johnathan is kind of a shining beacon in terms of the approach that we take to developing our trainees. It's great that within government we are very keen to develop all civil servants, and we get tremendous support, Johnathan and other trainees, myself included, because I'm always on that constant path of learning to develop. I think the profession of internal audit is seeing a kind of uptick now. As I mentioned at the start, Mr. O'Connor, the chapter on the Cayman Islands has been in place since about 2011. But what we're seeing now is an increase in numbers because there is an increase in demand for the internal audit skills. And we can talk a bit more about that as we go through the show.
Sure. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is James Robinson, the president of the IA chapter. Also work in consulting at Ernst & Young, EY, as a senior manager, and specifically focus on internal audit. I've been doing internal audit since I was a student, and very similar to Johnathan, I interned and worked my way up to the senior manager role and learning something every day. My role as the president is to work with everybody in the chapter and on the island to increase the awareness of internal audit and making sure that people understand the importance of it, and they're not afraid of us at all, but also make sure we increase the awareness both from a regulatory side but also just from a student involvement side, which we'll talk about a little more what we've been doing related to that to make sure people are aware of the opportunities.
Okay, so we're going to turn the mic over now to the president-elect, Mr. Nathan Pagent.
Thank you. So in terms of today, really, what we wanted to try and get across to the listeners is that as a profession, internal audit is seen at a massive growth spurt. There was the situation where the islands themselves were on the grey list, and there was a removal from that because the compliance requirements were met. But what we've seen as part of those requirements and the future focus is an increase in demand for internal audit service. And as a result, an increased demand for the skills and abilities. So part of what we're trying to do within the IA chapter on Island is give people those opportunities to at least trial internal audit as a profession. I think as James said, and you alluded to, nobody wants to really see the auditor. And I think that's because historically a lot of what we do has been after the event. It's been very much compliance checking. and almost a lag indicator of where things may have not worked as well as they could have. What the profession is moving towards now is a more risk-focused approach to internal audit, which means that we try and preempt issues. We take a view of where businesses are trying to achieve certain difficult things with risks that are being managed and provide that assurance in a real-time way. So rather than testing after the event, it will be testing as part of or advising on. And as I'm sure you can understand, that the skill set that requires is completely different than the kind of audit skill set of the past. The mindset is the same. We're still very much focused on evidence. We still very much view that objectively in terms of how we assess and analyse. But the skills that we need go far beyond financial audit, which has always been the historic bedrock for internal audit. So beyond that now, we're doing a lot more with technology. That's the real driver at the moment. So we do a lot more with data analytics. We do a lot more reviews in a cybersecurity space. We have a lot more people and culture type issues that we need to address and think about, because all these things are connected to the control environment. But it's just how we as internal auditors can develop our skills to be able to service the needs of not just now but the future. So that's part and parcel of what we're about to hear today, is that really one of the things we've realised as a profession is that the age demographic for internal auditors is quite old. Once you get into the profession, you tend to stay, which is a good thing. But we're not doing so well at generating that new interest, the next generation of auditors. And that's part of what we're trying to do with this week's events in terms of IA awareness. You know, we've got events today. We've had events that we've done a Caribbean Ethics Forum we did, which was very good. And we've got other events that we've got going on throughout the rest of the month. The opportunity on the 17th of May to see what an audit process looks like. And not to demystify audit, but to just explain to people this is how an audit runs. And then actually, if they get something out of it, brilliant. It kind of inspires that next generation of auditor, which is what we're all about.
Okay. And so what is your target group in terms of getting the message, out there as far as audit is concerned?
So it's all levels of education. So we've just signed an MOU with UCCI where we're going to actually go in and embed ourselves in their classes and courses. It's about people who've considered external audit as an accountancy type field for them, but internal audit is a good alternative. And realistically, internal audit as a profession is kind of needing new skills. So it's not just appealing to finance and accountants experts, it's appealing to people that actually have an inquiring mind. Because really that is the crucial thing to being an internal auditor. We can provide a rigorous process to follow and training to support that, but it's really that inquiring mind and that determination to see something through to a conclusion. I think those two factors are the standout ones for the bedrock of internal audit. The rest can be taught, the rest can be disciplined, and the rest can be kind of worked through in terms of an approach and methodology. So I would say that really what we're trying to appeal to are the people on island who have those key skills and would like to try internal audit. As a profession, I can only say from my perspective, it's kept me happily employed for 25 years. And I've been all over the world with the profession. I'm in Cayman now. I worked in the UK. I've audited in Afghanistan, the Yemen, Paris, Brussels, Turkey. I've been everywhere. And that's all through the profession. So it opens gateways as well, which I think is a really important point to make.
Now, you mentioned the fact that you're happy because you get to go all over the world. When it comes to the pay and the salary as well, does that make you happy? Don't answer it yet. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we'd like you to answer that. And for those inquiring minds, one of our listeners, wanted to know what sort of qualities, what qualifications you have to come in with, as far as internal audit. And then also you mentioned internal audit as well as external audit, and I'd like you to make the distinction, because even myself, to a certain extent, things are going through my mind, and I'm thinking about out there in the private sector, and you have so many accountants who are in the audit field, but I'm also in a position to see where the demand in the Cayman Islands is for more and more auditors, and where you used to see persons coming from the traditional jurisdictions in terms of auditing, you're seeing a completely different mosaic now than was before as well. So if we could talk a little bit about that as well. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, this is Juliana O'Connor Conley, the Honorable Premier of the Cayman Islands. I'm inviting you to come out to the March for Jesus, Saturday, 18th of May, 2024. Thank you very much.
Join us for the March for Jesus on the 18th of May 2024, starting at the 7 Mile Public Beach at 3 p.m. Then for our Thank You Jesus Praise and Worship concert starting at 6:30 p.m. on Albert Panton Street. For more information, visit our website at www.christian.ky and then click on the March for Jesus 2024 tab. See you at the March for Jesus.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Teens and young people living in Cayman, it's time to use our voices. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is putting together a 10-year national health strategy, and we need to be a part of it. Do you feel heard by your doctor or healthcare provider? Are you included in making decisions about your health? Can you access the services you need easily? Tell us what you think. Email mohfeedback@gov.ky or log on to gov.ky/health-wellness and participate today.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about International Internal Audit Month that is taking place. So we have Mr. James Robinson, who's the president of the Institute of Internal Auditors. I think that's what I stands for, Institute of Internal Auditors. We also have Mr. Johnathan Woods, who is with the Cayman Islands government, and he's an internal auditor, as well as the president-elect of the Institute of Internal Auditors, Mr. Nathan Pagent. So the question before, while it may be emotionally, rewarding, how does it fit the pocketbook as far as internal audit, is concerned?
Yeah, no, and it's always a good question. Some of us come to work for the love of the job, but that's not always the case. So, as a profession, I think that the internal audit profession always pays really well in relation to the market level. Now, what I have said about the future focus of internal audit is to make people aware of the fact that the Institute itself has recently done a study looking at the future of internal audit. I mentioned earlier on about the age demographic. And we've been trying to look at the factors that are going to attract that next generation of auditor. Now, some of the statistics that they've compiled show that if you stay with the internal audit profession for around about 10 to 11 years, your salary can go upwards of $100,000 to $150,000. The expectation is that you would move to being a senior auditor and then an audit manager and leader. But what it shows is that over this period, the wages of the internal auditor will be comparable with those of the external auditor, and in some respects be slightly higher. Mainly driven by the fact that although we talked about the qualification, the entry-level qualification for internal audit is the CIA qualification. The CIA qualification itself is 3 papers, but most employees, as is the case with Johnathan, will bring trainees in and will fund them to go through the training.
Excellent.
So as well as paying, they will support study. I can only talk to Cayman Islands government, but we support all the examinations. Guys get study leave, all the training is paid for, and all the exam attempts, 3 attempts are paid for. And we have good success with the exams. So for me, I think the skills of internal audit are not just about the internal audit qualification, because we have IT qualifications, we have HR qualifications, and within a good blended internal audit team, you need a collection of these different skill sets. So pay-wise, yes, it's a good career to be in. The money and the finances, I think, have increased and are increasing because the demand for the skills is important. And I think that's why it's really critical that on Island, we try and encourage that next generation of auditor to at least get involved and see whether internal audit works for them. Now, the one thing I will say, because I've talked a lot and then I'll pass to the others, is that with internal audit, beyond the technical training that you'll get, you will also get training in what I call human intelligence skills. So things like emotional intelligence, how to communicate, how to present, how to negotiate, how to persuade. These are things that you can't teach in textbooks, but through repeated kind of exposure to them, then that skill develops. And even if you then decide that internal audit isn't for you, those skills are transferable to whichever profession you choose to go into. So I think as a bedrock for any future manager or leader or business owner or entrepreneur, the basic skill set of internal audit will stand you in good stead, whether you stay with the profession or move on to something else.
Okay, so we want to hear some more from Johnathan then in terms of, his journey and his take as well.
Yeah, so I went to the University College of the Cayman Islands, and I did a double major, which was a bachelor. One was in business admin. Well, technically they both fall under business admin, but one was in management and the next one was in marketing.
Okay.
So again, no finance technically, except for the broad sense of it. And I was able to come into internal audit. And the skills I learned from there is very transferable in the sense that, for example, marketing. So making presentations look nice, or reports, have that appeal that you want to look at it, you want to read it. And, I'm an extroverted person as well. and a lot of the people in internal audit is introverted. So I was able to bring my skills of being a people person into, you know, making internal audit more exciting. Even the department, I think Mr. Nathan would say, is a much better place in having different personalities and everyone be able to come together and to bond and to have different ways of thinking. And I've enjoyed it a lot, and I am now on my way to, as Mr. Nathan said, do my 3 exams, which is the certification of internal audit, which is CIA. So I haven't started technically. I have started the studying process, but I haven't taken the 3 exams.
Okay.
So I'm on my way to develop that.
Okay, so let's hear from the big boss now. Mr. James Robinson, and tell us a little bit about the organization itself. From its inception, what your goals are, and some of those that have already been achieved.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Nathan had mentioned earlier, the IA had been established since 2011, and then there's been gradual growth to date. Every NPO organization kind of has the challenge of, expats or anybody leaving, because you've got expats and you have locals that are a part of the organization. So when an expat leaves, and you have to think about how can you think about succession and making sure that people are still keeping the momentum of the chapter. Currently, we are in a very great state related to the IAA. This year, and leading it up to this upcoming year as well, it has been a very great year. As we mentioned before, this is the IAA Awareness Month. Last week we had an ethics forum with all the local Caribbean islands. And each island spoke related to ethics, and people got 2 hours of training credits or CPE credits, and it was free, and so everybody loves free. As mentioned as well, we will be doing a training this Friday for anybody to understand from the beginning to the end of an internal audit process. Some very good speakers from different, from the local regulator to the government to the private sector, so a variety of different individuals that will be able to speak about their true experiences. And then lastly is we'll be doing a webcast and partnering with the IAA and also the local regulator here as well to speak about local regulatory guidance that's going out, and so making sure people are aware of what's going on and really just looking out for the whole island as well, and just making sure that people are aware of what's going on and getting any questions answered. What the future looks like after this month. We have some big goals this year. There has not been Nathan and I just came back from Orlando, which we had a training with all local IA leaders, both in North America, in the Canada, and then also in the Caribbean. And we realized that there was a big focus on North America and Canada, but there isn't as big of a focus on the island for the Caribbean as much as we want it to be. And Nathan's probably going to laugh at this, but the president was there, and we're just, at an event, and I'm like, I just find him and just go walk to him and just say, hey, these are our goals. This is what we're going to do. This is what we want to do. Now he's thinking about bringing his North American board to the Cayman Islands. Fingers crossed. A lot of logistics behind the scenes related to that, but that would be a huge piece for the island. And I'm pushing for Cayman because obviously I live here, and we're putting the effort in, we're going to put the time in it. But also another thing too that we're hoping to do is have the first ever internal audit conference. So a lot of things that would be going on related to that and planning, and I'm speaking now. So if anybody has questions related to sponsorship, definitely reach out to me as well, because that's a big piece of it. Okay. And making sure that actually happens, because the people in the Caribbean don't feel like there's a conference that they can hear their own thoughts. You can hear things in the U.S., you can hear things in Canada and other jurisdictions, but we have our own region which we should be exchanging thoughts and leadership on. to understand what's going on. So that's the biggest piece. We always will, additionally, from an academic relations side of things, now that we've got the MOU in place, and shout out to the UCCI because they did a fantastic job of making that work, and hoping to connect with ICCI as well. We will be looking to establish a course there. There's already an established textbook. A lot of materials are already prepared through the IAA, and making sure students are aware, very similar to Johnathan as well. You know, I was a student that studied accounting with the concentration internal on it. So I've been a member since I was a freshman in college. So I've seen it, and to Nathan's point about the competitive pay as well, I'm at that 10-year mark as well, so I'm seeing the benefit. I'd love to see more, obviously, but I am enjoying my job as well. So that between the academic relationships of the student involvement between that region, and then also just, you know, we hear KYC, know your customer. We want to know our members and continue to host events throughout the year.
Okay, well, I'm glad you mentioned know our members, because when we return from this commercial break, we want to talk about membership. How does one become a member? And then the MOU that you have entered in with UCCI. For those persons out there who may have an interest and want to talk a little bit more about what are the avenues that are open to you once you obtain the accreditation that is necessary for you to be an internal auditor. What opportunities are there for you in the Cayman Islands, including the Cayman Islands government as well? Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, this is Juliana O'Connor Conley, the Honorable Premier of the Cayman Islands. I'm inviting you to come out to the March for Jesus, Saturday, 18th of May, 2024. Thank you very much.
Join us for the March for Jesus on the 18th of May 2024, starting at the 7 Mile Public Beach at 3 p.m. Then for our Thank You Jesus Praise and Worship concert starting at 6:30 p.m. on Albert Panton Street. For more information, visit our website at www.christian.ky and then click on the March for Jesus 2024 tab. See you at the March for Jesus.
When the saints go marching.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about Internal Awareness Month. That conversation is taking place with Mr. James Robinson, who's the president of the Institute of Internal Auditors, the chapter here in the Cayman Islands. Also with us, Mr. Johnathan Woods, who is with the Cayman Islands government. He is an internal auditor. And the president-elect of the Institute of Internal Auditors here in the Cayman Islands, Mr. Johnathan Pagent. So before we went to the commercial break, we wanted to talk, a little bit about the attractiveness, and the MOU that has been entered into for those who may have an interest out there. Once that has been accomplished, what's next? And then we also want to talk about that distinction between the difference between external auditors and internal auditors as well. So, gentlemen, the mic is yours.
Yeah, I'll start first. Maybe from a membership side of things. One of the things, there's two things that are huge. You talked about competitive pay earlier, from when you're starting in your career to later. For me as a student, when I was studying accounting within concentration internal audit, one of the things was the pay, but also the membership. I wanted to have a good membership. And so membership back then and now is free for students, so they can get access to all the resources, understand what the profession is, really, truly understand. And then there's also a global student conference as well every year in Orlando. So people love Disney. So there's always a chance to go to that as well. And sometimes the IA will offer to pay for a student to go as well. And so really, because we want you to be immersed with future leaders and existing leaders as well. So that's one plug. We talked about earlier about the credential of the CIA, the Certified Internal Auditor certification. There are a lot of, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of auditors and a lot of CPAs on island or chartered accountants, CAs. And one of the benefits that the IA hosts in certain times of the year is to take one part of the CIA exam, and you can get the qualification because there's certain pieces that kind of intertwine with part of the exam. So that part, there is an opportunity to do that as well, and take that one exam versus the 3 parts exam. So it's a benefit for people that are CPAs, but then also just the student membership, right? And just having access to that. I had access to it. It was very beneficial. And there's other people that are involved in the IA that can explain to you what is there versus getting access to it and being like, I don't know what this is, but truly giving you the details of what the membership really entails.
And I think on top of the points James has made, quite rightly, is that being part of the chapter, you can talk about these things. So books and principles and the theory of something is a good way to learn, but different people have different learning styles. And some may wish to talk about, well, have you done a review of business continuity? Have you done a review of accounts payable? Being able to talk to somebody about it, I think, is always a helpful thing. And I encourage that within the team, but I know we also encourage it within the chapter. So again, the more members we have, the more experiences we have to share, the different avenues then people can explore in terms of the work that they go on to then deliver. But I think the setup with UCCI that we now have, I think, is a really a big statement of intent from us as a profession, in that we do see that we want to encourage that next generation of internal auditor. You know, we're going to work with the team at UCCI to develop elements of their courses, discrete elements that touch specifically on internal audit, as well as their wider courses in business and finance, and possibly part of their MBA as well. So it's a really good kind of first step for us in showing that we've got a lot of experience within the chapter at the moment in various formats, private, public sector, to be able to bring that to bear while those guys are developing their skills and thinking about what's next for them in terms of a career, I think is going to be extremely powerful. And hopefully, you know, this might sound a bit odd as an expat, but it's less about people coming onto the island and taking these internal audit jobs. It's more around Cayman growing its own internal auditors, being self-sufficient and sustainable and resilient to meet the demand that is now happening. And I think, as James mentioned, you know, as a Caribbean region, we're really trying to push how important and significant the Caribbean is as a region. Numbers and membership-wise, in the eyes of the IIA, we are not a big number. You know, I think 93% of the members of the Institute are in North America. But when you look at the world's finances and the way the world's finances flow, the Caribbean region punches well above its weight. And that's why we need to do something about actually growing these skills and retaining them on island and in the islands of the Caribbean.
So what do we say to the individual who, when they started out, when they went to college, and you know, you have many 22, 25-year-olds who really don't know what they want to do, but they have acquired a degree, and some may return home and discover, well, you know, I have that degree, but there's really not gainful employment that is centered around that, you know, for me. What do you say about transitioning?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I would love to even hear Johnathan's perspective, because he could be teaching somebody as well. So Johnathan, feel free to go first if you like, but I'll go first because, for me, any skill is transferable, right? You know, I think, for example, teachers definitely would be a very good internal auditor, because they have a curious mindset, but they can teach people and grow the profession of the future of internal audit as well. So for somebody that may not have the specific degree, or they have a degree or they're not really sure, there's always an opportunity. And if you tell your story in an interview, you'd be surprised how many people get those jobs. I work with a lot of people that really didn't go directly to the internal audit path, but they went the teaching path, or they went to the political route, or working with government, or whatever the case may be. They went a different route. I'm a non-traditional, like I went the internal audit route. Okay. And you don't see that often, to be completely honest. But there are a lot of opportunities. I learned through other people, because they see both from a private sector, they've seen both from the industries that they're in and the skills that they contribute as a team effort. Like Johnathan has mentioned before, a team effort is huge. You can learn from each other every single day. I learn from the people that are below me every day, and I learn from the people above me every day. So to answer your question, you can learn and you can get into the field anywhere, or just telling your story of what you're doing, what you've done, will be true. Because that is what an internal audit is, telling a story from the very beginning to the end and being factual about you.
And then to get them along that pathway, that is why, you know, your chapter and this institute is here to assist with that in terms of, for example, like the MOU that you've entered into with UCCI.
Correct. Exactly. And what I would say, in an unselfish plug for CIG, you know, we constantly advertised vacancies for internal auditors, trainees such as Johnathan, as well as senior auditors. So these may well be people that have got the accountancy qualifications that James has mentioned, and then we transfer them into internal audit. And all that skill and support, and all the exam fees and all the tuition, that's all covered as part of the offer that we make. So we constantly cycle those adverts on the careers website. And I would just encourage people to apply, because, as I mentioned, even if internal audit is not where you end up, it is a really good foundation for what you may choose to do in the future. But that inquiring mind and that determination to see something through. I think when I look for people, in much the same way as James has said, we get lots of people from different backgrounds. They're the two things I love to see come across in the candidates that we interview. But really, I think the UCCI MOU is a massive step forward for the profession. It's just where there are more opportunities to do that with more education providers on the island. We'd be happy to get you involved and have a conversation with them as well, because it really is crucial that we do tap into that future talent.
Okay, I'm going to beg the indulgence of you three gentlemen to stay a little bit longer, with us here on For the Record to talk some more. And Mr. Pagent, I like the direction and the attitude that you've taken in terms of the opportunities, for Caymanians. I happen to be in a situation where currently, I'm not sure how much longer, I'll be there, but to see where lots of applications are coming in the field of accounting, in the field of auditing and everything else. And to tell you the truth, I've never heard of the Institute of Internal Auditors or a chapter here in the Cayman Islands, and I would venture to say that many of our listeners out there haven't heard of it, and the opportunities that are available, as well. And I'm one who I am a strong champion, for Caymanians and for Caymanians enjoying the benefits of an extremely robust economy here in the Cayman Islands. So I want to hear, a lot more about this, and I'm sure that our listeners out there want to hear as well. So if you want to hear, folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after headline news.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by
Police are
Market
investigating the
and
third
Health
fatal
Services
crash of
Authority.
the year. While unable to confirm how many people died in this morning's crash, police have confirmed there was at least one fatality. 911 tells Radio Cayman the smash took place shortly before 12:20 this morning on Shamrock Road near Coral Bay Village, with the initial call reporting at least 5 vehicles were involved. Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, has arrived at a New York court to testify in the former president's historic hush money trial. Cohen paid porn star Stormy Daniels $130,000 to stay quiet about claims that she and Trump had sex in 2006. Trump is accused of trying to cover up the payments he made to reimburse Cohen by fraudulently recording them in his business records. Cohen was once Trump's close ally, but they're now fierce enemies and have both come under fire for comments made about each other on social media. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of fraud and also denies ever having a sexual encounter with Daniels. The prosecution said it has 2 more witnesses to call and could wrap up its case as early as the end of this week. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
The Health Services Authority has over 120 world-class physicians offering the most comprehensive range of specialist services on island. Our dedicated team of professionals provide the highest quality care in orthopedics, interventional radiology, women's health, geriatrics, and a host of other specialist areas. We are a JCI accredited organization with a proven record of excellence. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I'm extremely grateful for the indulgence of my guest in the studio, Mr. James Robinson, the president of the Institute of Internal auditors, the chapter here in the Cayman Islands, Mr. Johnathan Woods, who is with the Cayman Islands government, and he is an internal auditor, as well as Mr. Nathan Pagent, who's the president-elect of the Institute of Internal Auditors and also employed by the Cayman Islands government as well. So we're going to hear some more from Mr. Johnathan Woods now.
Thank you. So going back to what James was talking about, he was saying that anybody can get a career in internal audit. And you said you didn't hear about the IAA chapter,
right?
Which means that we can use more marketing people. So if we had more people from the marketing field say, hey, I actually feel like being an internal auditor, then the IAA chapter itself could present itself better and be more well known. And even though we're kind of small, what it was you said exactly? We were shooting above our weight. We were
punching above our weight.
Punching
that was,
above our
Mr. Pagent. Yes.
So
whole boxing expression.
Exactly. So we can show that to the world and to say, hey, the internal audit, IAA chapter, I should say, of the Cayman Islands is here, and we're here to stay, and we're here to constantly improve.
Excellent.
So that's why we need younger people involved. You know, we kind of, my generation still works on when the first computers came in. You know, the concept of this and the pace with which social media changes and evolves, and how we can engage with that next generation is important. You know, I read some articles over the weekend where the future of an internal audit report is now even being questioned, and whether we should be doing short videos. You know, kind of TikToks or Instagram, I think are the phrases, but those kinds of things are probably more the way that we need to communicate, because there's a bit of a disconnect with internal audit at the moment, in that we produce reports that are normally quite thick because we think we need to justify our existence, when actually what we're trying to do as a profession is to get an outcome, an improvement in control, or a change in process. And how do we get there quicker? It's through better communication. So I think the points Johnathan's made, for me, highlight the fact that we need a newer generation, because we need those newer thoughts and ideas feeding into what we've done traditionally, which I think will be really powerful.
And talking about those reports, how do you humanize those reports that you and recommendations that you're making? Because it is not unusual for the recipient of those to sort of like take it in the wrong light, and that will determine whether you get cooperation and buy-in, or whether or not you get resistance.
Yeah, and it's a really good challenge, and there's no one-size-fits-all response. Now, what we've done within the Cayman Islands government is work with all the chief officers to set out an audit process that's based on collaboration. Now, collaboration in the sense that we will bring our expertise and professional judgment to the things that we feel are out of control or could be controlled better, but we need their engagement on how is the best way to improve the control. They know their business better than we do, but we know control and we know how to manage risk. And the collaboration of the two, I think, is a really important thing and a step forward we've taken within Cayman Islands government. We make clear that when we formulate our recommendations, sounds a small change, but they're now agreed management actions, because we will outline what we think is broken and we will work with them to define, well, how are we going to fix it? And then what we find, Mr. Connor, is that they claim ownership of the action. And with that ownership, we've got more chance of the outcome. And again, going back to the concept of what we're trying to do, is to have a more favourable outcome. So we've found that that's still in its infancy within CIG, but is already proving beneficial, because what we're now finding is, rather than people saying when the auditors come, no thank you, we can't accept you today, I've actually got chief officers picking up the phone and saying, can you come and help us out?
Great.
Which is really where we want to be as a profession. So we've got opportunities we've got examples of how it's working. We just need to get that next generation on board and using some of the great ideas that Johnathan's come up with this morning.
Okay. Before we reach 8:15, we still want to explain that difference between internal and external auditors.
Shall I have a go? Go on. So essentially, we're both looking at, if you like, two ends of a tunnel, the same tunnel. The external auditors tend to focus very much more on the accounts and the numbers within the accounts, and then we'll test those accounts in terms of the validity and completeness of the information that results in the numbers in the accounts. Where the internal audit function comes in at the other end of the tunnel is we look at the systems and processes based on risk that result in those numbers that go into the accounts. So we have a lot of close working with our external auditors. I work quite closely with the Office of the Auditor General, for example, to make certain that where we find things and we have issues and we are correcting them, we give them as much information as possible so that when they do their year-end account work, they can place reliance on our work and not have to do too much re-performance. So that's probably where the two distinctions are and how we actually work together to give that overall view of assurance on the financial figures and the accounts and the annual reports at year end.
Okay. So before we close off, we want to give everyone an opportunity, for some closing comments as well. And we'll start with you, Mr. Woods.
Yep. So I would like to say to everyone to please, consider a career in internal audit. We are looking for people, and I would like some new coworkers per se. So, because we're a small department, so we're always constantly trying to, get more people involved. So I'd like to say, please send an application in. We're looking forward to meeting you guys and hopefully working together one day. And remember, anyone can join. Innovation is always key. So let's keep up the good work and strive for best.
And Mr. President-elect, and I'd like you in your closing comments again, encouraging young Caymanians to take an interest in the field.
And I think a lot of what we talked about today is, one, highlighting the profession and what it can offer.
Yeah.
And I think there is a great offer. I think the opportunity now for young Caymanians, particularly given the demand that's increasing, it kind of, the time is now. And that's why we want to do the Caribbean Conference as well, because we believe the time is now for the region. I would encourage graduates to seize this opportunity. There is a great career internal audit for anybody that wants to pursue it. Not just personal development, but professional growth is what's on offer. And with an employer like the Cayman Islands government, that's all funded for you while you're still earning a wage. So these opportunities don't come along that often. But it's also, if your drive is not about money and it's about making an impact to make the lives of the people in the Cayman Islands better, internal audit is a way to do that. At very low levels, and Johnathan will confirm this, you can be dealing with the highest levels of government, with Deputy Governor, with Governor, to make a difference, to change the way things work in government and to make the lives of the people in Cayman better as a consequence. It's not a big reach, it's quite a sensible connection, because I think that in doing and thinking about things that way, you will actually be driven to do the right thing. And the right thing, if I was to guide, is a career in internal audit. I think even if it doesn't become something that you stay with longer term, the transferable skills that you'll get are exemplary. And just to thank you and everybody for listening today and your engagement. And if any further information is needed, there's always the IA chapter website of the Cayman Islands. And we'll provide details to put on the Cayman Radio website as well, with links to further information.
Okay. Mr. President?
One, I'd just like to thank these guys for being on the radio, and also the team in the background that does a lot of this. There's a lot of individuals that really do a lot of the work in the background, and so thank them all. I could go for days on names, but I'm not going to, so we're due to time. But as Nathan had mentioned before, my number one piece is supporting local. And making sure everybody gets the right opportunities. This is not even just the only organization, but that I'm involved in. I'm also involved in the co-chair of Leadership Cayman at the Chamber of Commerce as well. So anytime I'm there, I'm always talking about internal audit as well during there as well, and throughout my career as well. But I would say always supporting local. Everybody can do better with related to supporting local every day. We're doing great as it is, but we can always do better. There's always room for improvement, and there should always be strive for growth in supporting the locals. I look at Johnathan, I just smile every time because I see the future and the future growth that I can see him in already, just by speaking, but also fear of great things through Nathan as well. So really, every day I'd like to see more Jonathans and more others just to truly be a better leader and future leader, so I can retire one day. That'd be great as well. So, but thank you for allowing us to be on the radio as well.
And just before we go again, for those persons who are listening out there who are already in a job, how can they still pursue this avenue?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a current existing job right now and you're interested, I mean, obviously there's internal audit postings throughout organizations here locally as well. We do get reached out related to specific openings as well that we will share with the membership.
And the courses that are available now, if they wanted to do that in addition to their work obligations that they have. Sorry.
Correct. Yeah, so in terms of the actual career opportunities, we post any of those opportunities that we get reached out to as well. In terms of the path and getting the membership and understanding the resources, we have different events throughout the year that we will host, but we also, as mentioned before, we have the website, and we can put our email address out there that you can reach at any time, which we check regularly.
And I'd probably say that that's a good way to do it. Each individual circumstances will be different, and the path of entry into internal audit will be slightly different. So it's probably worth the conversation one-to-one. So reach out through the website or through the contact details. And if nothing else, come along to a chapter meeting. Yes. We meet once a month. We have regular social events throughout the year. And part of that is just the networking. You know, we have quiz nights. We have things where we actually encourage people just to come along for the conversation. It's not all about internal audit. It's a people business at the end of the day. So having those conversations are key to any future relationship, and whether people choose internal audit or not, at least they'll make an informed decision. And I think that's all we can ask for.
Excellent. Gentlemen, I want to thank you, all of you, for your time. We know that it may have been a little struggle getting this all put together, but at the end of the day, it has worked out well for all as well. Folks, when we return from this commercial break, the phone lines will be open. Remind you, our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, and our WhatsApp number, 925-3261. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
At Kirk Market, it's so easy to eat well and find healthy options. With their fresh veggies from local farmers, hormone-free chicken, local seafood, and grass-fed meats, Kirk Market has delicious, quality food at the best prices. And you must check out their fresh salad bar, hot bar, and med bar for daily healthy options on the go. Their delicious dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients such as prime meats and organic veggies. Eating great is important to me. That's why Kirk Market is my store. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and shop happy.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is advising travelers to check their passports to ensure all is in order ahead of summer holiday travels. Travelers should check their passport validity, verify entry requirements for the destination, and apply for or renew passports and visas early. For more information, call 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. The phone lines are open. If you want to call in, or toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261 as well. So I'm going to go back to the bulk waste collection schedule, and I was talking about some of the items that are accepted, and they included bicycles, and I was talking about the fact that if you have a bicycle and you intend to put it out there, if it's in any condition, give good usable condition, give it to someone, or you may want to take it to a bike repair shop, have it repaired, and then give it to some worthy child in the neighborhood, or even some civic organization as well. One of our listeners suggested that I should encourage our listeners to take it to Craig Cycles, and not wanting to sound being partial about this. So we have Craig's bicycles, but we also have Sheldon, Mr. Sheldon Anderson. We have Uncle Bill's, and we have Jerome's bicycle shop as well. So you could take it to any, of those. I tried to do that at one point in time, and I'll tell you the story. You may not want to hear it, but so the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service bikes that were reported that were stolen and recovered, or that may have been held for evidence or what, at certain times during the year, they would auction those bikes. Now, because of the fact that the bikes were left out in the open and they were exposed to the weather, some of them were not in such great condition. And I had the idea of getting those bikes and instituting a program with Northward Prison to have some of the inmates there work on those bikes. We would source the parts for the bikes, have them work on those bikes, and if they had young children, they could fix the bikes up and give to their young child, or again to some worthy and deserving organization as well. We had the bikes in a container, but it never got off the ground. And what happened was the bikes got in such terrible condition that they were not repairable. But the message that really what I trying to get across to you is that if you have a bike that is in pretty good shape, don't put it out there in the garbage. Contact someone, give it, to them. we see many people out there this, riding to work. Roads may be a little bit dangerous. We're fortunate that some of those roads have bike lanes that you're able to ride in. Others don't have bike lanes, but yes. Which brings me to a point, and I promised my cycling friends yesterday that I would mention this on the radio as well. I know that the actions of the National Roads Authority, that they are well intended, but at the same time, I personally, as well as some of my friends, see it as a waste of money by putting that chip and spray, that loose stuff on the verges of the road, those areas where the shoulder of the road is much wider. For instance, from Beach Bay Road going down to Hibiscus Gardens, cyclists can't use the surface of that road because it is too loose. I'm not sure how much more it would cost to blacktop that, to put asphalt on that rather than what appears to be the chip and spray. But then if it were done that way, then we as cyclists, we could ride in that area. Let's use as an example the new Church of God building opposite Rankin Residence and Rankin Jerk area. That additional lane there has been paved. Why not do it for those portions that I have spoken about as well? What about the stretch from the drive-in theater? Those of you who don't know where the drive-in theater was, I'm trying to remember the name of the restaurant that is there now, but all the way through Bordentown, the road surface is terrible, really, really terrible. The road in front of Chester's, have to bear in mind that parts of that road is again built on swampland, and if the base isn't done properly, you're going to get those undulations in the road, and it is extremely rough again on cyclists. Now, I speak for the cycling community, I try to, but when you're driving in a vehicle, you feel the same rough surface as well. And yes, maybe the concentration is more now on extending that east-west arterial, but meanwhile, people have to still use the only road that is available. Please, please, NRA, don't waste that money on the chip and spray that no one is going to use, probably other than pedestrians. But cyclists can be much safer on the road in those areas if we had smooth surface that we could ride on. I'm made to understand that we have a caller on hold, but Ms. Susan, let's take the commercial break first, and we will take the caller after. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. And I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the people's station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Hi, this is Juliana O'Connor Conley, the Honorable Premier of the Cayman Islands. I'm inviting you to come out to the March for Jesus, Saturday, 18th of May, 2024. Thank you very much.
Join us for the March for Jesus on the 18th of May 2024, starting at the 7 Mile Public Beach at 3 p.m. Then for our Thank You Jesus Praise and Worship concert starting at 6:30 p.m. on Albert Panton Street. For more information, visit our website at www.christian.ky and then click on the March for Jesus 2024 tab. See you at the March for Jesus.
This Mother's Day, Digicel wants to take you to brunch. We're giving away brunch vouchers for you and mom to enjoy a delightful feast together. Winning is easy. Simply activate the postpaid Supreme plan or the 30-day Prime Max plan, and you could be our lucky winner. Don't let the chance to treat mom to a special day out slip away. Visit your nearest Digicel store today or hop onto the My Digicel app for your shot at winning. Make this Mother's Day a memorable one with Digicel.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. Phone lines are open. We do have a caller on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay. Well, speaking about roads, I realized personally that a lot of these new roads with asphalt are causing a lot of more heat around the place, especially in communities where there are homes not too far from the road. It's drawing a lot of heat into people's yards, into people's homes. I don't know if the government are able to, like, for example, the new homes they're building in East End now. I don't know if the government are able to let people have an opportunity of making a choice whether they would like to have asphalt or the brick roads that they're building in Georgetown. Along with sidewalks also in the neighborhoods. But if we continue to put asphalt on this island, it's going to draw a lot more heat. It's going to get very uncomfortable, especially for old people.
Yeah, when you're walking or if you're riding a bike on those asphalt roads, you can feel, the heat emanating from it. It really makes a huge difference.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Connor.
Okay, thank you, caller, for that as well. One of our listeners said that the in commenting on the verges of the road, how about when they're doing the roads, do bicycle lanes? And I believe that new roads, they do put bike lanes in on those. The older roads, in some instances, it may be possible, but you can't have that. continuous bike lane there. Certainly could use one on the Spot Street area. I keep saying spots, but I have to remind myself that I'm pushing for that stretch to be renamed Tom Jackson Lane or Tom Jackson Way, because that is what it was named before, because he was the gentleman who built that road. And if we want things Caymanian, then we have to go about recognizing them and changing them. But certainly that area could do with a bike lane as well. Do we have any other callers? We have another caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
Good morning. I am fine. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I just want to say the last caller, I guess he took a lot of what I was going to say, and he's exactly correct what he's saying about this these roads with the pavements.
Mm-hmm.
We can send man to the moon, and we can get all kind of sophisticated telephones and so on, but you mean that we can't find an alternative to put on the road except oil-based asphalt? You know, there's a lot of difference between concrete and asphalt when it comes to pavements. Concrete does not retain the kind of heat as asphalt, and it will cool down much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand the logic into putting all of this asphalt over the little tiny wee Cayman Islands. I mean, it is so disheartening to see that the powers that be just go ahead and yarrow the next road and put asphalt on top of it. Or see, we having an intense heat. The people at the garden, we grow nursery and others.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to them, they will tell you, be careful with your plants because they cannot take all of the heat that's out there. So try to mix your plant under a shade tree or something else. And we see that. Look, even the grown trees, you see them withering. And we take for granted that the good Almighty is supposed to send us heat. It's not impossible to say we can shut it off for a while. What I want to say about this whole situation, I have never imagined in my whole life that we would find ourselves in a situation that we are now, with people in the power just say to the people, if you got the money, just do as you see fit. I mean, look at your coastline. Again, I repeated this before and I will again. Your coastline, the local people that are living here soon enough will not see anything on your coastline. You might have a little nitty-gritty place like the West Bay Public Beach if they don't decide, well, that's going to be Seoul as well. But it is so disheartening, and I hope they are listening because everybody knows me in West Bay. I'm Ormond. It is disheartening to see what's happening to this island and nobody cares. If they think that air condition is the answer, a lot of people are making a big mistake, my friend. Look at your oxygen. You can feel the heat in the day, OC. It is getting hard to breathe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And nobody cares. And we talk about tree planting day. Why in the hell are you talking about tree planting day when you're demolishing acres and acres of wetlands and dry lands and everything else? Who's listening? Nobody cares. They don't even stop and give you the time of the day. Unless, I will repeat, unless the people deciding that this country, that we are going to take things in our own hands, meaning we're going to get district council that we can challenge the government on what's happening now, we are doomed. Do not depend on your politicians for anything except, in my opinion, it looks like something that is not acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Now, you speak about challenging the government. If you get the district councils, we can challenge the government. Well, I believe that we have to challenge the government to get the district councils. That's the first challenge that we have to have, with them. Whether or not that should be a legal challenge, in the terms of the reading of our, Constitution, whether they have lived up to the meaning and the intent of our Constitution when it talks about that the government can, institute a law that establishes, that creates advisory district councils. But we haven't held them to it. We've talked a lot about it, but we haven't brought a constitutional, a legal challenge, on any government of the day in terms of implementing that.
Okay. There's something in the pipeline, but I am not able to say now this morning on the talk show.
Okay, that's fine. I respect that. Mm-hmm.
And I want you to know what you're saying. We have to challenge the authorities that be and let them know that we need better than this and we are demanding better than this. Because when the election was over, there was a big hullabaloo. Oh, well, the district council and advisory council will take 18 months before we can even look at it. What's happening? And they got the people so psychologically hijacked, believing in politicians. I am saying this morning, don't believe in your politicians, because I've been voting for the last maybe 50 odd years, and I see very little or nothing change. So it's high time that we come together and decide that we are going to do some real serious challenging into this island. Thank you so much, Mr. Connor, and have yourself a good day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, as well. Okay. We have another caller. We have enough time, 5 minutes before we go to our next commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Again, our sincere condolences to you and your family.
Yeah, thanks for that. Many people called me and told me that you did express the condolences on the air. I had jumped out of the car. Concerning that call,
you didn't jump out while it was moving, though.
Almost. I got in far. I had to jump back in and do that sometime. Also, concerning the last caller there, about the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if we violate the traffic law or any other law, we can be charged, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we always, like Dr. McPhail always make mention of the Constitution as being the highest law of the land. So if that is being violated, if that's not being implemented, or they're not following the rules of the Constitution, is there any kind of implementation where they can be charged for, somebody can be charged for not upholding their Constitution?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they can be charged, but we should challenge them.
I mean, we challenge them.
In a court, through the courts.
In the court of law.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought it might have been where there would be some information where we could they could be actually charged for not upholding the Constitution, or that would be breaking the Constitution, right? Violating the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
If what the Constitution say, you shall, right, have district council.
Well, it gives the legislature the power to create, to implement a law that create advisory district councils. I'll find the exact wording and read it later for you. If you continue talking, I can search for it while we're talking. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm really concerned about that because if we all make mention to the Constitution as being the highest law of the land, which would be higher than any other offense, I would say, then you should be able to charge somebody in the court, not just challenge them, but charge them and take them to court.
Mm-hmm.
Because putting up a challenge, they'll come up with some technicality there where you would not be able to convict them. But if there's a charge against the individuals themselves, for not implementing what the Constitution said, and I thought they should be charged.
It's not a criminal offense per se, so that is why. But when it comes to interpretation of the Constitution, we do have a court that can deal with that particular issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that certainly can be done. If you hear me,
you find it.
I'm still searching for it. Stay on the line. We're going to take our commercial break, and we don't have another caller. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. So, Lord Graham, Section 119 of our Constitution, Advisory District Councils, and it reads, subject to this Constitution, right? So, that subject to this Constitution, based on this Constitution, we could, if we were to substitute the word subject, a law enacted by the legislature shall provide for the establishment functions and jurisdiction of councils for each electoral district to operate as advisory bodies to the elected members of our legislative assembly. Now, if you ask 10 different lawyers what that means, you would probably end up getting 10 different interpretations, of it. Those who were present at the constitutional negotiations, first of all, I have said this on more than one occasion, that while it was an issue, a subject that was introduced by the then leader of the opposition, Mr. McKeever Bush, it wasn't until the last day and the waning hours of the negotiations that they actually got to this. And it was discussed briefly, but we know that the idea was exactly what was put in here, that these these advisory district councils would operate as advisory bodies to the elected members of the Legislative Assembly. But we were left on, to our own devices to craft that legislation, and it should be done through the legislature. Now, some people read this, and I'll read this phrase again: subject to this Constitution, a law enacted by the legislature shall provide for the establishment, and then it goes on. Some people...
see, I'm just right there. It didn't say may, because they could get away with may.
Yeah.
But it says shall.
But what is that?
So that was what I would use to support my charges.
But
I
what
would like to bring
what is
forward.
that? What is that shall? Is it saying that the legislature shall enact a law, or is it saying that the law shall provide for the establishment functions? In my interpretation, would say that it is the latter. It is telling you what the law shall provide, but I don't believe that it is obligatory. It's an obligation of the government to enact the legislation. That's not what the Constitution says. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, but one could argue, why put it in the Constitution if it is not the intention for it to be acted upon? Yeah. And we know that it was acted upon because we know that Dr. McPhail helped in the drafting of the legislation. We that the Honorable W. McKeever Bush, had the legislation, but it has never been enacted. And we know why, because we have heard several politicians repeat the fact that they have been elected by the people. Why should they now have the people tell them what to do? All it says is that it should operate as an advisory body.
Yeah.
You can accept that advice or you can ignore it. At the end of the day.
If we elect them, then if they're using that, then those that why then go and hire somebody as a political advisor then and pay them from our coffers? We didn't elect them. We never elect the advisor. So they're contradicting themselves right there then too.
Yeah.
So you're going hire an advisor, but yet you do not want an advisory committee.
So true. Yes.
The Constitution didn't call for a political advisor, right? It called for an advisory committee.
Yep. So
so that I don't know. Some changes need to be made. Yeah. If we don't get the right changes, then we gotta have change the individuals.
Yep.
That are not carrying out or implementing what is supposed to implement or involved in that as committees.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Take care. We'll talk. Miss Susan, any more callers on there? One more caller. We have about 7 minutes left, so this will be our last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Jose. It's me again.
No problem.
I just want to offer my condolences to the entire family of Louis Christian.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Santos' son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew him very well, and I met him up in Philadelphia on one trip. And besides that, I knew him in Cayman, so he was a very easy, polite spoken person. And I just want the entire family to know that I am offering my condolences to the family of Mr. Louis. So thank you so much for listening to me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. In light of what took place early this morning, late last night, early this morning, I'm with due respect to the families of those persons who may have seen their demise in the recent road accident. We see an article in the Compass, and I want to share this with you about the fact that dangerous drivers could be hit with stricter fines and demerit points. And we have heard, even on the show, person talking about various initiatives that are underway in relation to addressing the driving issues in the Cayman Islands. We know that some of the numbers that we have heard, an average of at least 9 motor vehicle accidents per day in the Cayman Islands. So this article, written by Dana Camper, it says that as one of the latest measures to improve road safety, the government has started making some special some speed limit changes more visible on roads. And you would have seen those speed limit signs on the surface of the road as opposed to being on vertical signs as well. And it says traffic incidents are on the rise in the Cayman Islands, and government officials are deciding how to respond. That could mean harsher punishments, like a points-based demerit system to penalize dangerous driving practices. Statistics currently show Cayman roads become less safe. Traffic offenses reported to the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service rose 14% in 2023 to 10,716. There was a time, and these are my words, when the population in the 60s, late 60s, was just about 10,000. The article goes on to say that Eric Bush, who is the chairman of the National Road Safety Committee, spoke with the Cayman Compass about road safety proposals from the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure, where he is the chief officer. He's quoted as saying, "I think the community recognizes that we have too many accidents and certainly too many fatalities. Over the last 5 or so years, we've averaged over 10 fatalities per year. So far in 2024, Cayman has experienced 2 fatal accidents, both in March." Bush noted that these traffic deaths are not just statistics. Each fatality means real impact and pain for families, friends, and communities. He said it will take the combined efforts of residents, law enforcement, and leaders to improve road safety. So the proposed legislative changes, Cayman is not alone in its traffic woes, but Bush said, explaining that the islands can take guidance from best practices around the world. One change the ministry may bring to cabinet is implementing a demerit-based system that would track a variety of offenses, in particular impaired driving, being distracted by a handheld device, and excessive speeding. Right now, every incident is treated singularly. What other jurisdictions have done, which seem to be effective, is that they combined the incidents. Bush said potential punitive measures include monetary fines, restricted driving, losing the ability to get car insurance, and imprisonment depending on the severity of the incident. While legislation is in the works, the government is also looking at immediate preventative measures to implement on the roads. One example is painting highly visible speed limits directly on roads like those recently added in Savannah. Crews are also installing more pedestrian crossings and radar signage to alert drivers. On the subject of importing safety vehicles, the Department of Vehicles and Drivers Licensing has registered more than 50,000 vehicles to operate in Cayman. Bush added that about 300 vehicles are imported every month. With more cars coming, the potential for more accidents, Bush explained, and he wants to ensure the safety of additional vehicles entering the islands. Faulty airbags responsible for serious injuries are becoming particularly worrisome, he said. As a precautionary measure, Bush said his ministry is proposing new inspection regulations at the point of importation. And there's a lot more in this article. I can say that we can put as much lip service as we want to what we're going to do, what we want to do, but what we need to do, we really, really need to do it quickly. We need to do, and it has to be a multi-pronged approach. It can't just be one approach to it. We have to have more physical policing on our roads as well. Whatever else we do, we have to combine it with that as well. Folks, we've reached that time of the morning, top of the hour at 10 o'clock. I want to thank all of you who have been listening, those of you who have called in as well. I want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are. I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And March for Jesus. 18th of May, visit christian.ky for more information. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976.